So right now I could be sat at home with the wife, the dog at my elbow, perhaps a glass of wine at my hand, tucked up on the settee, watching something like a nice Adam Sandler movie, wondering why he's wearing those shorts, but instead I'm wandering in the dark at -3 up a Northumberland hill to essentially go and sleep in a glorified nylon bag. And I'm trying to figure out why I'm doing that. So let's see if I find the magic on this night, because I've heard it can be magical. You probably can't see, but it's amazing walking up here. The stars and the moon. Have not really needed to use the head torch. The moon's so bright, beautiful. Now, if you look at my last video about the NORTENT SKJUL Bivvy, there was a really interesting debate, because my stance was that I hate Bivvy. I'm a Bivvy skeptic, and the sworn Bivviers came out in force and they were explaining why they loved it so much. That's part of why I'm here tonight, because I want to understand. I want a bit of that passion and understanding, and this still snowy night could be just the right night for it. This is the place I was looking for. I've been careful wandering around through these cliffs in the dark, but around here there's a secret little cleft just perfect for a bivvy amongst the cliffs here, and right over there is Skull Rock, and this is the NORTENT SKJUL Bivvy, and this is the perfect spot for us, just right in here. You could barely fit a tent in here, but the secret weapon of this spot for cooking, etc., there's a little cave with an overhang. Now I can actually get this open now, probably for the first time. Get myself organised, so I've got a foil mat put down, and since it's a small space, everything I'm taking inside I'm just keeping organised with a plastic bag. Now it's a bit of a misnomer that I've called this the skull under Skull Rock, because actually skull in Norwegian means hide, and that's exactly what I'm doing amongst the rocks here tonight, just hiding in this little cleft. Much smaller footprint and height compared to a tent. I'm just kind of hidden away behind the rocks here. Even my lights hopefully aren't too visible. Right, I've got the NORTENT Ling sleeping bag with me. This is the 3rd or 4th night I've used it now. Proving very warm. Rated to comfort -5, and that's about what it's going to be tonight. I'm going to put that inside there, but when I'm sat, I want to show you a clever trick with this. So that's me set up, and in case you were wondering more about this amazing spot I'm in, don't worry, in the morning I'm going to show you a little bit more of a look around, and I've even got the drone with me, so I might be able to put that up. So I'm literally sat on ice. Let's get this down first. Some leftover Christmas pudding, and what I'm going to try and do is warm it up in that mug, and I've got some double cream to pour over it. So what I can do with this sleeping bag is, using these toggles on the base and the loops up at the side, I can tuck it up, and I can, because of the armholes in it, I can literally wear it like a giant jacket. Okay, so what I can do now is put up this massive hood, and I can actually use my sleeping bag as a giant coat, so I can sit outside here and be really cozy. Oh, that is nice. So of course with this frozen ground, this is ideal conditions for it, but this is what it's meant for when it's freezing. Get in your sleeping bag and you can move around in it. And some people might say it's a bit ridiculous doing this, but in the right application, it's dual use of your equipment and it works really well as a system. Cheers. Oh, it's amazing. That was amazingly effective. That started boiling almost instantly. So this is an old Primus Etta pan, but the 3-prong thing on the Soto Windmaster fits inside that, a little bit like Fire Maple petrol sort of styly. So it's right next to the pan. That was amazingly effective. So I'll leave that to warm for a bit. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about what's going on. Yeah, so in my last video about this Bivvy, it was amazing the comments that were very Marmite about Bivvying. So the tent people were saying, well, what's the point? It weighs a kilo. My tent weighs just over that, 1.5 kilo. Why not take a tent? Or if you take a Bivvy, you've got to take a top. So why not take a tent? And what quite a few of the Bivviers were saying, well, these tent people are just not getting it. The point is not that you're making a little home for yourself. You're not making a tent. You don't want a tent. It's the opposite of that. You don't want to be enclosed. You want to be outside. So they said, well, you know, each to their own, but the tent people aren't getting what Bivvying is. So this is why I'm trying to rethink tonight, that I don't need to be making a home to shut the outside away. I need to be just in the outside. Well, I'm definitely using this system again. Look at that, I can even put my tea mug back on here for a little bit of an extra warm-up. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm actually sat on about 3 or 4 inches of ice. Aye, good. So what else has been going on? Yeah, so I wanted to really thank everybody that's been coming out in a bit of support recently. Sometimes it can be a bit of a lonely place being a YouTuber, especially when people are having a go at you. And I mentioned this on my video when I was in the Top 10 Arc Dome, and I was really taken aback about everybody coming out and being supportive and saying don't let the trolls get to you, and they were happy with my strategy of giving them a bit of love. And to be honest, if you go looking on my channel for some really nasty trollish comments, you won't find them, because I snuff them, a lot of them, just mute them when they get a bit carried away. And they're really clever, these people, because what they tend to do is start off with a slightly provocative comment, like, that kit is completely trash that you're using, or you're only saying that because you got sent it for free, which is absolute bollocks, to be honest, because what I always do, or try and do, and disagree if you like in the comments below, is to be descriptive. So I'll show that I've been sent something like the sleeping bag, but I'll be descriptive about it. I'll show its dimensions, and you don't say that kind of thing just because you've been sent it. You're just being descriptive. The only thing that would be wrong is if you give opinions about it based on kind of like conjecture, really, or firm untruths. So that's what I try not to do. I just show use, and I'm very grateful for the kit to get sent. Yeah, so thanks very much for the massive support you've showed. Look at it, you, thank you. Right, I've enjoyed that wee sit out, but now it's actually time to get in the bivvy. So there's my bag. Aye, so the other thing that has come up in conversation regarding the last talk about this bivvy is the need to get up for a wee when you're in a bivvy. Now I know a lot of you guys are of a certain age, and we were just having 1 or 2 hours of chat about kind of prostate issues. Mine's fine, I believe, but it's probably just worth mentioning that if you are subject to urinary frequency, that can be a late sign of prostate cancer. So if you have any suspicions like unexplained lower back aches, passing blood from either end, it's a really good idea to get yourself checked out, especially if you need to keep getting up from a tent for a wee. I know as we get older it gets a little bit like that anyway, but I'll put a link below to prostate cancer check links, and the stuff like getting your PSA levels checked. I'm no proctologist, so fortunately it's probably a good job, but yeah, check those out if you're a certain age, and just be aware. Right, so I guess the idea is now that till I get cold, I just lay here in the open air. I guess this is bivvying. Ooh, fish bivvy. Ooh. Bivvy fish. Fish bivvy, bivvy fish. Ooh, bivvy fish. No, fish bivvy, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Good night, fish bivvy. Oh. Ooh.
Good morning. We're really cozy in here. No condensation at all. Bag's completely dry. A little bit around my knees there inside the German bag. All this part's dry. So I've had most of the night. I've been just like that. It was a bit of a breeze came up in the night, so I brought it kind of like that, just for the hole there so I could see out. And I was awake about 4 o'clock in the moonlight looking at this amazing scene. I took some stills, I don't know how they came out, but I just sat up and looked at this beautiful moonlit scene of this. I think that's backfired a little bit actually, because I used the German bag as an extra warm layer to keep the condensation off me, but that not being breathable is damp inside, but the bivvy being breathable is not damp inside, so I won't do that again because that's actually trapped some condensation in there. Something I haven't shown you is the option to have all of this top panel here completely mesh, so that would be a really good summer option. You could still have the vent here for a little through flow, and then you can, if required, you can zip that up have that all weather tight again. I like how I can do any of these zips one-handed. Seems to work fine. Right, I'm going to give you a little show around, but if you know where this spot is, don't put it in the comments, just keep it to yourself. And if you do figure it out and come here, keep it pristine, just like it is. Thanks. Yeah, so the temperature this morning is 1 degree. It's actually warmed up overnight, because it was -3 when I went to bed. Would have got down to -4 or -5, and there's a bit of a breeze blowing through here, which would have meant wind chill, -6, -7, but I was perfectly warm. In fact, I had the coat on at first, I had to take that off, and then just use the sleeping bag properly because I was kind of out the sleeping bag. So that's the summit I was at last night, and there's a path leading along the top, but this area here is completely obscured by all these cliffs. And there's a double layer of cliffs down here. Hence me being careful in the dark along that little path. Revealed and invisible is the NORTENT SKJUL Bivvy. That's my cooking spot. Maybe not the best bivvy spot here. So here is the skull. There's the eye, there's the nose, the mouth, chin, forehead, and I don't know if you can see it there, tucked away is the skull bivvy. Perfect spot. The other thing I like about this bivvying log is it's quick to put away. Couple of minutes, that's it. Got some cream left, I can make my porridge with that. Bonus. You know, I bent this Life Venture spork to fit in my pan, but it actually works better.
So this rather fetching bit of kit is the Gerven original, in case you were wondering, Jerven. It's much used by special forces and hunters. So I'll put a link below, but it's a very versatile and extremely useful bit of kit. In fact, my most successful video ever is on this bit of kit, so I'll put a link below to that. Check it out. So I appreciate in the last video where I had the first look at the Skull Bivvy, I did it in the rain, and that's not the best application. I think there's a time and place where it's exactly the right thing, and that's what I had last night. I had the right conditions, had the perfect spot, had the right weather, and it all come together. So for me, my curse of hating bivvying is now over. I don't think I'm going to be a die-hard bivvy and tarp camper yet, though that may come, but certainly it's broken my bias against not liking it, if you like, because that night was just magical, and having the right equipment definitely helps to make that easier. Now, by contrast, what put me off from a young age was when I was backpacking when I was 16 in the Lake District with a couple of friends. I think we had about 10 days, and we were youth hosteling mainly, and there was this one night where we couldn't get in Keswick Youth Hostel. This is the high Cheviot Hills over here. Some of my friends were there last night. Yes, so we couldn't get in Keswick Youth Hostel, so we had to bivvy out on the side of Latrig, and it was summer, and all we had is plastic orange survival bags and youth hostel sheet sleeping bags and a pillowcase, and it was baking hot, and we got eaten to death by midges. So the bags were sweaty, uncomfortable, we had no mats. So that was my first bivvying experience. And I tried a couple of times after then, but maybe I was with the wrong people in the wrong place, it just didn't work. But last night was magical. So put in the comments below, are you now gonna try it? Are you still thinking you should build your little home every time? Or it's just firmed up what you love about bivvying? Now, I just wanted to give a shout out to a lovely young man that I've been watching on YouTube that's really getting going with his subscribers. He's called Here, There and Everywhere YT for YouTube. Lovely guy, I think his name's Adam, doing some great videos, and last time he was out, he took his 2 dogs with him, and one of them, Cora, doesn't usually go, and scratched a hole in his mat, completely tore it. Managed to tape it, but it's not very good, so he's probably going to have to get a new mat, which you know aren't cheap. So I gave him £5 for a thanks, so definitely watch his channel, give him a subscribe, but yeah, why not put a little pound into something towards his new mat, because he's bringing some lovely content, just a young guy. And the other one I'm watching is Trick of the Trail, did some good stuff. And then the other one that's got a good base now is Hiking Handsome, great channel and doing stuff that I'd really like to have a shot of, and that's Nordic ski touring, towing a pole. He's really experienced at it and does some great trips. And on the last video he was making ice cream from cream and just in the tent and stuff. Absolutely amazing. So if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to give me a subscribe as well. There's a lot of people that watch these that don't subscribe. It'd be really appreciated, and a like as well. Fantastic. So cheers.